Okay, welcome to the Dublin Academy of Maths. Now today we're on Leaving Cert Early Level Maths Series 4, Episode 5, and it's Paper 1, and we're doing complex numbers. Now, if two complex numbers are equal, then the real parts are equal, as do imaginary parts. Okay, so what does this mean to you and me? Well, before we were, if we end up with an equation like this, we work out an equation and we end up like this, we can simplify this equation by getting the real parts together. There's a real part, there's a real part, there's a real part. I'm making an equation out of them. So 2x minus 1 is equal to y minus 6. Okay, so that's one equation. Now we get out the imaginary parts. Imaginary, 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 imaginary. And we take out the i's, okay, because we don't include the i's. So it's, this is 4i, okay, 4i, y, yeah, this is 4i. So 4 plus y is equal to 2y plus 4. So now we can solve the y. Okay, you see what I'm saying, getting it here. So you can solve the y. So I can do simultaneous equations, or I can solve this line and solve for y. So 2y minus 2y is equal to 4 minus 4. In this case, minus y is equal to 0. Okay, so y is equal to 0, and then you substitute it in, 0 for y. Now this might be 100% this equation, but you get the idea. Okay, or you could have simultaneous equations, I'll show you now in a second. But remember, when you're giving long equations, you associate the real parts with the reals and the imaginaries with the imaginaries, and you'll get two equations out, and you'll be able to solve them through simultaneous equations. Now simultaneous equations is on series 1, and it's in algebra. Okay, you'll find it in algebra there. So let's do a question related to this. Right, so find the values. It says find the values of x and y. Okay, so here we are given the equation. 1 minus 4i plus 2x plus yi is equal to 5 minus 8i. So the question would say, find the values of x and y. So you'd look at this and then you'd start, okay, let's solve out this equation. Let's remove the brackets and simplify it if we can. So that's 2x. Nothing changes here. yi is equal to 5 minus 8i. Now, I have to break them into two equations, right? So I'm going to get the real parts with the real and the imaginary with the imaginaries, okay? So I've got real here, and real here. So that's 1 plus 2x is equal to 5. Okay? And I've got the imaginary part. Imaginary. 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 And I take out those questions. Take out those terms without the I. Okay, so that's minus 4 plus y is equal to minus 8. So I've got two questions, two formulas here. Okay? I've separated the real parts and the imaginary parts. And then I just solve my equation. Okay? So this becomes, let's solve, this one becomes 2x is equal to 5 minus 1 is 4, x is equal to 2. Right? And this becomes y is equal to minus 8 plus 4, y is equal to minus 4. So now you've got two parts here. And if you put your parts in for them, for x, everywhere you see x, your real parts in, and you put your imaginary parts in, you will find that they will equal. Okay? That the sum will equal. Okay? Let's do another question. So that's when you can separate them. So you don't have any simultaneous equations here. Okay? So let's have another look at another one. Find the values of a and b. Okay, so you know that it's either a, b or x, y. If, now find the values of a, b, a plus bi times 2 plus I is equal to 6 plus 4i. Right? Now I have to I have to simplify this equation because they're tied together. The reals and the imaginaries are tied together, so I multiply them. So a by all of this, so that's a by 2 plus I plus bi by 2 plus I is equal to 6 plus 4i. Multiplying them out, a by 2 is 2a plus ai plus 2bi plus bi squared is equal to 6 plus 4. Remembering that that minus the square I squared is equal to minus 1, I is equal to the square root of minus 1. Now I separate them. Let's check to see if that everything's okay here. ai 2bi, bi squared is 6 for I. Okay. My real parts, real. Now this is a real because it's going to be b by minus 1. b by minus 1 is minus b. Okay, so that's a real part there. So I can rewrite this down if I want to get this b squared. So it's 2a plus ai plus 2bi minus b is equal to 6 plus 4. Remember, I squared is minus 1, so you're multiplying b by minus 1, minus by a plus is a minus. Okay, so you get a minus out there, minus b. Now, again, back into your real parts, so you've got real, real, and real, and don't forget the I on top of the 4i. And then we've got the imaginary parts, imaginary, the ones that are left over, imaginary. So I've got two equations here. I'm going to get the reals together, so I've got 2a minus b is equal to 6, and I've got the imaginary parts, and I'm taking ai, I'm going to take out the I in a minute now, is equal to 4i. Okay, so I've got 3 there, 3 there, so that's everything okay. Now I'm going to rub this out, okay, and I'm going to get make an equation out of this. So now I have AB and I have AB. This now changes, take out the i's, a plus 2b is equal to 4. So now I've got two equations and I must bring them together, okay? Minus b is equal to 6. Yeah, and I've got a plus 2b. 2b is equal to 4. Now, I have to cancel one of those terms. Through simultaneous equations, you know that when I multiply one of these terms by both of them terms, I need to add them in such a way that they cancel. Now if I multiply this by minus 2, I will get minus 2b and they will cancel. So I'm going to call this a and b so you know. So 2 times a is 4a minus 2b is equal to 12. Everything by 2. So, and this remains the same. B remains the same. A plus 2b is equal to 4. I add them, they cancel. 5a is equal to 16. In this case, yeah, it is. 5a is equal to 16. And therefore a is equal to 16 over 5. Right? Now, I have found a. If I want to find the corresponding b, I can substitute into any of those equations. Right? Now I'm going to pick the most simplest one for me is this one here. Okay? So I put it back out and I put a is equal to 16 over 5. So I'm going to bring down b. I'm bringing down b to substitute in for a. So b is equal to a plus 2b. A plus 2b is equal to 4. Okay, so this is done with. So I'm now substituting a in for this. So I get a is 16 over 5 plus 2 times b is equal to 4. 2b is equal to 4 divided by, you bring it over, you bring it over, becomes minus 16 over 5. Okay, b is equal to, okay, very good, all this over 2. Now you should be able to know how to do this. Okay, so if you were to work this out, that would be 4 multiplied by 5 over 16. Get out your fraction, and then when you're finished with that, you divide everything by 2. Okay, 2 over 1. Alright, now you should know how to multiply and divide by fractions. So there's your values. So you found your values for a and b through simultaneous equations by separating in the equation, the full equation, into its equal parts. Imaginary parts and real parts. Now I'll just swing this along for the questions. That was pretty okay. Question says today is find the value of x and y in each of the following. So it's the same principle as I've shown before. This is a much simpler one. Take out the brackets. take out the brackets. Getting longer, okay, getting more confusing. Lots of minuses in here. Watch your minuses. This is quite a long one. I think I did some of this. I forgot the X there. And this is another one. 3 by all of this minus 4 by all of this is equal to that. Now do these questions, and doing these questions you get your good honour in your exam. Anyway, take care.